on questions till the very end, and I'll be happy to answer those. Our bodies are really amazing machines. They really know what to do. Case in point, breathe. You don't tell your lungs, hey, we need to breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, right? It's automatic. You eat food, digestion happens automatically, right? So amazing functional bodies until they don't, right? Until we do something really to help jack it up. That's a medical term. So we're going to take a look at why and what contributes to those things happening within our body. So the main component is inflammation. Inflammation really means chronic disease is at play. So 95% of chronic diseases out there, things like diabetes, heart attack, strokes, cancer, all of these stem from inflammation. What is inflammation? Because we hear that word all the time, right? Well, inflammation means your white blood cells are up at arms. That is your immune system saying something in our body doesn't belong here. We need to get rid of it. We need to attack it. So your body, again, is a great machine. You don't tell your body, hey, seasonal allergies are happening, attack, right? Your body knows how to do that automatically. When it's a one and done, body's great. Goes back to normal pretty quickly. But when your body's impacted by stressors day in and day out, that inflammation, or what I call little house fires in your body, never subside. So your body's constantly being challenged. And that leads to chronic disease. So 95%. All right, I know what you're saying, Cliff. You're saying, well, what about the other 5%? Where's that coming from? That's genetics. So we always hear me, oh, well, you know, diabetes, that runs in my family. Thyroid, that runs in my family. Autoimmune, lupus, that runs in my family. But that's only 5%. The other 95% is our environment. Not only external, but internal. Okay? So we are that 95%. So we either turn that light switch on and engage or ignite the genetic component, or we make sure that we leave it off. So we're not developing the diabetes, for example. Make sense? Okay. So causes of inflammation, what are they? Well, we've got physical stress. So it's sitting at your desk all day long, right? We all know that, right? We're here like this. How many of us are doing this, right? Every one of us, every day. Sometimes 8, 9 hours a day. It really stresses your body. So we're all aware of that. Also, not enough activity. Couch potato, office potato, right? But also on the flip side, too much activity. So think about those triathlon athletes. That's on the other side of the spectrum. Then we've got mental and emotional stress. That's the stuff that's going on up here, right? Oh my God, I've got a deadline. I need to get this. I need to get a bonus. I forgot this, and so on and so forth. It's the movie that we create in our head that creates a response physiologically, physically in our bodies. Don't even know that you're doing that, right? Then we have nutritional. We kind of know what that is, right? Food. Chemical. Things that we're eating, things like processed foods. Ingredients that we can't understand. And environmental stress. Kind of like what's going on in the last couple of weeks, right? This is ragweed season. So those are stressors coming out from the environment, as well as pollution and things like that. But today we're going to focus on food, and namely food sensitivities and allergies. And what's the difference? And how is it impacting you? So before we get to all of that, I'm going to talk about an actual case study. Here's a patient for years struggling with all of these symptoms. Some of these symptoms look familiar because you just saw them on that stress survey, right? So weight issues, sometimes it could be inability to lose weight, inability to gain weight, or gaining weight and not understanding where it's coming from because you haven't really changed your lifestyle. So why am I gaining weight? Headaches, migraines, fatigue, being tired, sleep issues, either not falling asleep when you go to bed or not being able to wake up in the morning, or unable to stay asleep when you do finally fall asleep. Okay? Congestion, brain fog, like how much is 2 + 2 again kind of feeling, we've all been there. And then seasonal allergies. Now, with all of this, this patient was suffering for years. And she didn't know what was causing it because she was being conventionally treated, kind of what we're used to as far as medicine is concerned, right? You go to the doctor, you say, hey doc, I've got acid reflux. Anytime I eat something, I get gassy. Here's a prescription. Wes, that's going on? Here's a prescription. Oh, Cliff, yep. What else is going, seasonal allergies? Here, take some of those, right? Sounds familiar. We've all been there. But this person, so you see the diagnosis from the doctor, in quotes there, here's this symptom, we're going to treat it with pills, 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 pills. Until this patient, after years of going to various doctors, was told, you know what? I think it's just in your head. You're a little bit anxious, a little stressed out at work. I think you're depressed. So here's some more meds. Take those. Sounds familiar, right? And she was now in the never-ending loop that we find ourselves in, right? Here's my symptoms. I'm going to go to the doctor. Doctor's going to give me a bunch of prescriptions. Now I've got more symptoms and or side effects. Go back to the doctor, more prescriptions. And you see, it's that vicious cycle, right? Never ends. More scripts, more symptoms, more side effects. Especially because your labs, her labs in this case, were all coming back normal. Well, we don't see if there's anything wrong with you. Everything's normal. So it really must be in your head. We're going to keep trying different antidepressants, anxiety medication, so on and so forth. Until she had enough. Because you know, for depression and anxiety, there are no tests. So how can you put someone on medication if you can't even test for a cause? There's no test for depression. There's no test for anxiety. Those are symptoms. What's causing the symptoms? When she had enough, she decided to take matters into her own hands and step away from the conventional doctors and really start to look for the functional medicine doctor. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit and let you know what that really means. She started to put these puzzle pieces together. And finally, voila, she uncovered the cause. And actually there were several causes, not just one. She didn't have any allergies, so we all kind of know what allergies are, right? Or we think we do. But she had multiple food sensitivities. And once she discovered those food sensitivities and started to rule in and rule out, because we all know that food is both the problem and the solution. So there's the double-edged sword, right? It's both the problem and the solution. But how do you get to the solution? Well, her life changed. It led her to hope and ultimately to amazing health. Guess what? You don't have to put those pieces together. We're here to help you get to that same place that she got. By the way, this patient that I just talked about was me. That's why I'm here. Because I know that there's so many people who are like me, as I've seen them at Optimum Health, thousands who come in with that same type of symptom history and treatment history, right? So allergy, we know, life-threatening. That's immediate. We're familiar with peanut allergies, right? We hear that all in the news. Bee allergies, bee stings. That's life-threatening. You can die within minutes or seconds. What's more insidious, though, are those sensitivities and intolerances. So intolerances are created or happen in our body when we don't have a particular enzyme to break down that food. So we are familiar with lactose intolerance. We know if we're not ourselves, we know of people who are. Sensitivities are those chronic symptoms that really seem to come out of nowhere. And those symptoms are right there. Headaches, brain fog, weight gain, weight loss, acid reflux, no energy, fatigue, and so on and so forth. This is a very small list. Headaches, anxiety, depression. These are your symptoms. You really need to stop procrastinating and saying, hey, this is just normal for me. It's not normal. That's your body's way of saying, hey, something's wrong, help me, fix me. Because if you don't, your body is going to take you out because you're not listening. It's your body's way of getting your attention. And when you're not listening to your body, then it does something drastic. What are drastic things that it can do? Heart attack, stroke, cancer. Because then we're going to pay attention, right? Or your back going out for 10 days or 2 weeks. You're going to pay attention to those things. Symptoms, we kind of dismiss them. Say, oh, it's not so bad. Functional medicine. So functional medicine doctors really look at this. What's going on beneath the surface? Conventional medicine says, hey, these are your symptoms. Let's just treat that. How do we treat that? We're going to give you a Band-Aid. Not literally, but with pills, right? Medication. Functional medicine, we're actually looking for cause. What's causing this to disrupt your health? Sometimes there's technology stress too. Bear with me one moment. So what we do at Optimum Health is really determine the true underlying cause. We're not just treating symptoms. You don't come in, Will, for example, and say, hey, Lisa, or Dr. Dory, or Dr. Lori, or Dr. Colin, or Dr. Adam, you know, I've really been having a tough time. I feel blah, I can't get up in the morning, I feel like I'm dragging all day, I don't feel motivated, now I'm gaining weight, now my hair is falling out, so on and so forth, right? You want to know the root cause, because we're not one size fits all. Because what works for your body, or your body, or your body, yours, or yours, is going to be very different. Components may look the same, but we're different people, different genetics, those come into play, genders, that comes into play, and other health conditions that you may be suffering. So we order the correct tests, so we do everything the standard conventional medicine does. We evaluate what's going on with you. We focus on cause and not the symptoms. And then we address the dysfunctions and help your body help itself heal. because it knows how to do that. Remember earlier I said you don't tell your body when to breathe, when to go to sleep? We kind of, especially with sleep, really fight that, don't we? So we don't cover up your symptoms with drugs to create more symptoms and more side effects. We really look for the root cause. Because when you find root cause, you can be effective with treatment. And we do this in a variety of ways. Like I said, lab testing, mentoring, coaching, classes, and so on. And together, we can actually start to take action to help you solve the problem and put those puzzle pieces of your health back together again. So when I looked over those stress survey forms that the 5 of you filled out, I can already kind of see, I get the picture of what's going on with you. And believe me, you might be thinking in your head, hey, this symptom is not related to this symptom. And it may or may not be. But we get to the actual cause, so we would find that out for you. So it really